Hello, and welcome to another episode of Meditate with Us. I am here with my dad. He just arrived to visit and help me with some jobs around the house. And first order of business almost, I said, hey, do you want to meditate with me?
It's a good way to start.
And he was right away like gung-ho to do it. So thanks, Dad.
I'm on for it.
I'm kind of wondering, have you been meditating at all on your own?
I have on and off, but not regularly.
Okay. And when you meditate on your own, what's your practice? What do you do?
I try to find a beautiful spot. Today it was oddly enough in a cemetery. There was a stone for sitting, and I sat, and it was very quiet, and just spent some minutes meditating, and it worked really well.
Okay.
And sometimes it's a bench by the river, and but generally it's when I do my walk in the morning.
Nice.
And my walk is very meditative as well.
So when you are in like a actual seated like practice, what is happening inside your head? What are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm very much with my breath, and that's where I try to go, just to center my thinking and my feelings, and I try to stay with my breath as best I can.
Awesome. Okay. I just recently have been doing a lot of reading and research about different types of meditation. So my language around how I'm describing and teaching meditation seems to be changing just slightly.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be a little bit different. The language that I used to say might be a little bit different than what you heard in the past. And really what I'm focused on now is, in the past you would have heard me say, acknowledge your thought and shift back to the breath. And I still do that, and I still recommend that. But there's the slight shift is that really all thoughts arise and dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
All feelings arise and dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
So really we don't have to do anything, right? That shifting back to the breath is doing something. We don't even really have to do that, right? There's a new type of meditation that I've tried, and it's called thought meditation. And you just, any thought, the focus of attention rather than it being the breath is the thought. So, there's the thought arising, and also acknowledging the thought as it dissipates, and then acknowledging the next thought arising and dissipating. So that's really consistent with the language I've used in the past, witness. You're witnessing all of the thoughts as they arise and dissipate. And there's in fact very little you have to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's just a new language, just an interesting new way of thinking about it. And I realized I hadn't quite said it to you that way yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that I have been doing, just because this is a difficult practice. I mean, I've been practicing over 10 years now, and I still find it difficult. So even staying with my breath for 10 breaths, focusing on counting 10 breaths, I can't believe how challenging that remains for me. So that's what I've been doing lately. And I think I'm going to do that today. I'm going to try that today. I'm going to try counting to 10, still acknowledging, thoughts and feelings as they arise, and then focusing back to my breath, but also trying to stay with my breath, counting to 10, and then starting back at 1, counting back to 10. And what I've been finding is I very often don't get to 10, like very often. So if you want to try that,
I will.
I will. Give it a try, and we can kind of discuss how that goes at the
Yep.
end. How long do you want to meditate for today?
Do you want to try 15 minutes?
15 minutes, great. Yep, I love that number. I have also been meditating for longer periods of time. I've been doing more 30-minute sessions, and I am finding that I settle in. The longer I meditate, the more I tend to settle in. It's 15 minutes is great, let's do it. But just another thing to think about, as you're meditating on your own. When you meditate on your own, do you set a timer?
No, I don't.
No? Okay. So I always recommend setting a timer, just because otherwise I always remind people, this is a practice of non-reactivity. And ultimately, you have to react to the thought, when am I going to finish this meditation, right?
Mhm.
You have to
Mhm.
respond to that thought and finish the meditation,
Yeah.
rather than if you outsource that to an external device, the
Mhm.
external device just tells you this is when the meditation's over, and
Mhm.
so you never have to actually react to that thought.
Mhm.
Now, technically, I
Okay.
guess you're reacting to the
To
to
the
this.
device.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, so I've set the timer here for 15 minutes. What I'm going to encourage you to do, yeah, you're seated in your chair. That yeah, nice, tall, dignified posture. Kind of almost pushing down through the bones in your butt, elongating all the way up through each vertebrae. Imagining a string attached to the top of your head, gently pulling you up towards the clouds. And then keeping your head up tall, but allowing your eyes to settle somewhere down on the ground in front of you. And just kind of relaxing your eyes there. You can keep your eyes open, or you can close your eyes if you prefer. And then just gently bringing your attention to your breath. We don't have to do anything to our breath, just allowing our breath to gently enter and exit our body. Allowing whatever thought or feeling arises to arise and dissipate naturally. And just gently returning to our breath. And now I'm going to press start on the timer. You can just meditate in silence and stillness for the next 15 minutes until the timer sounds. How did you do?
Well, very well. I tried the technique of counting,
Mm-hmm.
and you're right. I had difficulty just breathing right up to 10 without the thought coming in. But I found with this method of recognizing thoughts, I wasn't as judgmental about the fact that my mind was wandering.
Well, good.
I just, as you suggested, I recognized there was a thought there, and then I recognized that it was leaving.
Oh, great.
And then I was back to my breath, and it worked very nicely.
Oh,
It
nice.
was, as I say, just not as judgmental.
That's a fantastic change. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you have an estimate as to how many times you stayed with your breath until you got to 10 and started back at 1 again?
Oh, I don't think I actually got to 10 at all.
I appreciate your honesty. I am. Isn't that shocking? We sat there for 15 minutes.
It is.
And you did not get. And I think I got there twice.
Hmm.
And it was at the very beginning, and then, like, it honestly, I find it humbling
Mm-hmm.
because, as I say, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and I can't get to 10. So it's just, and I think that's important too, right? That we laugh, that we
Mhm.
laugh at that, right?
Mhm.
That we're gentle with ourselves. Thank you. I
I
really,
enjoyed it very much. Thank you for making me part of this.
You're very welcome. I really like to end just by taking our hands together at heart center and bowing and saying namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, Dad.